Hi everyone, this is the Mystery Film Fan, and welcome everybody to TV Times. Now, with TV Times, we're going to be discussing TV shows of the present day. If there's any you want to talk about, please leave them down below and I'll try and discuss them. But for now, I'm going to talk about a show which I has just finished, which I quite liked, which was called Arrow. Now, for those of you who are unaware of it or didn't catch it, it was about the Green Arrow. Long-time DC superhero and part of the Justice League. Now, considering how the Wonder Woman pilot went and the show, the pilot didn't air, this was a very brave action. Green Arrow had been tried before in the Young Superman Smallville thing. I don't know. It's again. I was never a fan of Smallville. Again, I liked it enough, but again, but by the third season, it was just Sorry, Tom Welling is just not Superman. But I will talk about this show because, frankly, I liked it a lot. So I'm going to go over what I think was good and what I think was bad about it. So let's begin, shall we? So the characters. Let's talk about the main character. Let's talk about Oliver Queen. Now, he's played by an actor who I've never seen before, named Stephen Amell. I'm sure people in the comments will be going, "Oh yes, I know Stephen Amell. He's from this show." That again, it's possible that I've not seen him in these other shows, but he's really, really good as Oliver Queen Arrow. It's a different take than Justin Hartley did in Smallville. And I really like it. The fact that he's become something else. He's not just Oliver Queen, rich boy, blah blah blah. He's become, responsible. He's become this thing that he's not just a goody goody. He's somebody that is complex. He's somebody who doesn't know what is wanted of him. I mean, the fact that he's somebody who kills makes him unique. But I like the fact that we have somebody who is not only vulnerable as the Green Dragon, because and has layers, because there's people he likes, there's people he doesn't like. I'm going to probably get a lot of hatred for this, but we next have his girl. Well, I want to say his ex-girlfriend, played by Katie Cassidy. Now, for those who don't know who she is, she's David Cassidy's daughter. A member of the Partridge Gundam family. So, what's my problem with her? Well, she's supposed to be Diana Lance. She's been Laurel Diana Lance. And for those people who are non-comic fans, that means she's going to become the Black Canary. Now, while I think that this actress is perfectly fine, I don't think she's the Black Canary in any sort of sense. I'm sorry, it's just like a no. In the same way that I just don't see it. I mean, maybe they'll do it and it'll be fine. I just don't see it at the moment. Because she's very inward looking, she's very career focused, and that's not the Black Canary. The Black Canary was always focused on saving people and superhero. I mean, maybe the fact that she's a lawyer in a bad town, but that shows that and she does it for free. Basically, she does it pro bono. Shows that she is somebody who's caring and is focused on caring people. But again, they've not, in this show, they're not focusing on the meta-gene at all. There's no meta-humans at all, which I think is a mistake, especially if you're in characters like that are meta-humans, like, for example, the Black Canary. Or, I mean, because there's not many villains that you can introduce now in his own, because we've had Merlin, who is his nemesis, which I'll get to in a minute, and Count Vertigo, which they just call the Count. Okay, so we've got John Diggle, who is his bodyguard come co-help her in this war that he's fighting. And I like the fact that that he doesn't necessarily want to become it straight away, but he says, I'm coming to help you because I think that you might want to keep in touch with your humanity, and I like that. I like that very much indeed, because John Diggle is basically pulling Oliver many times from the bridge of becoming, an outright monster murderer. The fact that the island changed him so much that he's now he's now just an unstoppable killing machine. And that's something that is very hard to do, because there's a line you don't cross, and I think I like the fact that they just tread along that line. They never go. Sometimes they go across it, but again, he's never somebody who'll just kill somebody for the sake of it. He always wants justice, and I like the fact that they are like that. That there's the difference between murder and justice. One of the I like the fact that they have Slade Wilson in this, and he's not just a total bad guy. He's actually a good guy. Considering that he's going to become Deathstroke the Terminator, I like the fact that that's maybe. I mean, spoilers ahoy here, but the fact that the city gets destroyed, maybe he's like one of the mop-up crew that comes in and tries to help people by killing them or something like that, and Green Arrow has to face his mentor, and that could be quite interesting. It'll be like sort of Batman Begins / Dark Knight Rises, in which the mentor comes back to fight the student in an interesting turn of the narrative. That could be quite interesting. I just hope he wears the mask, because he doesn't really wear it. Another character wears it, so I mean it's quite interesting. Another character that I really like, again, Tommy Merlin, who is the hero, the anti-villain, the villain, sorry, is a little bit worn out in some ways, but he does have more character development towards like the middle, towards the end. The fact that he's in love with Laurel, the fact that they have a very strong romantic relationship going on, and I like that. I like the fact that it's something that it's. I wish that they'd kept that relationship together even towards the end, because I think it would have been good if they'd been together, and it's something that he was giving him more depth, because the fact that Oliver wants to be with her but understands that Tommy's making her happy. I think that's a lot of character development to go through. Now the villains, there's a couple of villains that I want to talk about, and one I'll tread on a little bit lightly. One I'll tread on lightly is the Count. Now in the comic books he's Count Vertigo, who has supernatural powers, in that he can make people lose their balance, vertigo. But here he's a drug dealer who creates a drug called Vertigo. Now, I don't know why they just don't say it's a drug that has the metagene in it, and it messes with your DNA in some way, because that could work. He takes this drug and he becomes Count Vertigo. It messes up his mind so much that he thinks he is this Count Vertigo person, and that could work. Again, it's all about the way you do it. Now, the two main villains that we have, or recurring villains we have, one is Deadshot. Now, if you know who Deadshot is, if you don't, he's an assassin. He kills people, and he killed Diggle's brother in the show. And one of the things is that he uses a very specific type of poison, the Karaki. And I like that fact, the fact that he comes back, and there's times when Diggle goes to find him because he wants revenge, and the only bad thing I'd say about Deadshot is that he doesn't wear the mask enough. I want him to wear that silver mask. I want him to wear the red high thing a lot more. But I suppose I suppose the writers think, oh, that's silly. Well, I'm sorry. You either go the full way or you don't go the way of Saul. I'm sorry, it's either one way or the other. I want Deadshot wearing the mask. I want him having the gauntlet with the gun on it. I don't want him to be, because the thing about Deadshot is that he never misses. And the reason he doesn't miss is because he's got the mask, and he's got the suit, and he's got the things. Not because he's some guy who wears a red thing. The whole get up is his method of killing people. But that's forgivable. The next one is called Malcolm Merlyn, also known as Merlin in the comic books. Now, Malcolm Merlyn is actually a really interesting villain in that he's not one note. He's actually complex, because he's the head of this conspiracy which Oliver Queen's mother is a part of, which is that they're trying to right the city by destroying a part of it in the Glades. Spoiler for it, kind of. Because he wants it because his wife was killed, even though she was trying to right the Glades. She had like a free clinic there and all this sort of stuff. She wants it there, and it's just like, what the hell? And the fact that it's this, he's this black archer and he's this nemesis for. I mean, I wish he dies at the end. All the spoilers, but I mean, I wish he didn't, because you have somebody who is like an equal to the Green Arrow. I wish that he wounded him, but he didn't actually kill him. And he comes back saying, I'll get you" and stuff like that. I wish that would happen rather than, because once you take away somebody's arch nemesis, there's nowhere to go. I mean, it's like, for example, in the first Batman film, once you kill the Joker, there's nowhere to go from there. There is no, because the Joker killed his parents, he doesn't need to be Batman anymore. And the fact that Merlin's gone and he's head of this conspiracy. Well, once you've killed it, once you kill the Hydra, no, two more aren't going to grow old. You've killed the centre idea, the person who wanted all this to happen, and what now? You got nothing. So I'm interested if they introduce like the meta-human gene in the next one. I mean, I hope they do, because if they treat it seriously, then it can work. Anyway, that's it for the characters. Let's talk about the arc. Now, the story arc in Arrow takes two turns. Now, there are two narratives going like this at the same time. One is him on the island, because he's on this island for 5 years, and one is him doing Green Arrow stuff. And I like that. I like the fact that there is two narratives of like you get flashbacks to certain parts which explain why things would happen. Like, for example, we get the fact that his father killed himself to give him a chance of living and coming back and becoming this, and told him for his father's sins, which is a good idea. I like that idea a lot. That that he's basically redeeming his father's bad deeds. He's basically the sins of the father basically passed on to the son, and the son is now redeeming it. It's a very good and interesting idea. And it actually works because they take it seriously. There is no winking to the camera. There is no crying about it. And also, what I like is that when you see that he's not alone on this island, and there's an army going on, and he's with this Chinese guy who teaches him how to fight, and he's with this guy's daughter who teaches him how to fire an arrow, and he's with Slade Wilson as well. It's all complex. It isn't just one note. So like when you find out, because there's this guy called Fives who is behind this island, who's trying to like do stuff to go with China. I won't get into it because I think it's interesting if you watch it yourself. But basically, he wants to do stuff with a tank. And if you can figure it out from that description, go ahead. But the best thing about it is that you see the fact that Oliver Queen goes from like this scared rich boy into becoming what he is now. And it's interesting because we see this character develop from being what he is at the start of the series to being what he is towards the end. That the fact that he kills fives, spoilers. The fact that he's somebody who shoots who shoots Deathstroke. The fact that he's somebody who is loyal and would come back for people if they're loyal to him. And that's something that is very hard to tell. And it doesn't tell us this; it just shows you. And this is why I think this is a very good show. Is that he doesn't have somebody in the back saying, "So we see that going through this island, we see that Green Arrow has become a hero." No, it just shows us. Also, we get a couple of romantic storylines because John Diggle is romantically interested in his brother's widow, and we see that their relationship blossom and grow. The fact that John Diggle loves his, but he doesn't want acts of it because it's his brother's widow, and that's one of the really good things that I like about it. That the fact that the romantic relationships aren't just easy. People just don't fall into them. There has to be some sort of connection there first. Like, for example, one of the best relationships, in my opinion, isn't the Laurel Tommy relationship or the other Laurel relationship that happens a bit later. It's the relationship between the Huntress and Green Arrow. The fact that she's a villainess, she's basically the opposite of him. She doesn't believe in justice. She just believes in revenge, and she kills people. And the fact is that Oliver still feels for her, and it's very heartbreaking because he obviously feels for her, and she's the only person he could have an actual connection with, and because he has this relationship with this cop, but he doesn't have the same sort of relationship with her he has with the Huntress. It's just really interesting to see this character over 2 episodes have this relationship with this person that that it's going to end really badly. So that is what I think the show is all about. The show is all about the fact that you have to sacrifice to to be able to save the city that you love. That it's all about redemption. It's all about it's all about love. It's all about it's all about humanity. It is just a great show, and if we could have more shows like this from superheroes, I think the world would be a great place. So let's go into final verdict. So, the best and worst episodes. Now, with the best, I'm going to say the 2 Huntress episodes. It's Vengeance and Salvation. Both are great. The worst, I'd say, is probably the 2nd episode, because nothing happens in it. But again, even the 2nd episode has things that are redeemable about it. It's one of those shows where even the worst bits about it are sort of forgivable. It's not one of those where it jumps the shark. It keeps the tone. It goes with it. It keeps it. It makes it so grounded that again, it's a really well done show. I think it's well worth the time you buying on DVD when it comes out. And I think it's really, really, really well done. Anyway, this has been MysteryFilmFan, and go and live long. I enjoy good TV.